foremost, I want to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Without him, nothing is possible. I want to thank my organization, Baltimore Ravens, for, finally getting this deal done. Shout out to Eric, shout out to Steve, Coach Harbaugh, the whole unit. My offense, man, my offensive line, man, I can't thank them enough for what they've done. I'm not out there blocking, catching the ball, doing everything, it's my team, it's a team thing, for these awards. And, I want to thank my family at home. But you guys have a great night, and that's all, folks.
He's solidified for the Hall of Fame now. You mentioned it. Jim Brown, Brett Favre, Peyton Manning, Joe Montana, Johnny Unitas, Kurt Warner, Steve Young all have 2 MVPs, all in the Hall of Fame. The ones that aren't in the Hall of Fame yet, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, they will all obviously be in the Hall of Fame, along with Lamar Jackson. It would be unprecedented for him not to be. And to see a player this far into his career, 6 seasons in, at the age of, 27, have two almost unanimous MVPs, 1 certified unanimous MVP, and to take his team to the AFC Championship game after being the 1 seed this year is really incredible. We give Lamar Jackson, we give him a lot of slack. We're very, very critical of him. We hold him to a very, very high standard. And sometimes I think because we hold him to that standard, because he plays the game in such a unique way, the criticisms take away from the greatness that he has actually accomplished, both individually and as a team, because this is his most successful year with his team, taking them to the AFC Championship game, which we know is very, very difficult to do. Part of the reason why Shady and others argue that Patrick Mahomes is a dynasty already is because of the AFC Championship games, obviously along with the Super Bowls, but that is the second layer of it. It's very hard to get your team there. It's his first time doing it. 2 MVPs. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame, and we are watching a really tremendous player, an all-time great player, really just entering his prime, which is really exciting. So I'm very happy that he was able to not only get this MVP, but also go to the AFC Championship game as the 1 seed, because I think it really puts him in that other category. Now, when we mention Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, we have to mention Lamar Jackson.
Man, congrats. Big congrats up to Lamar Jackson, the Ravens fans. What an accomplishment. Everything he went through in the offseason, acting as his own agent, the contract negotiations and everything to go on and have the season that he did, falling short in the conference championship. That was rough. It wasn't a pretty game. I ain't throwing any shots, as I am indeed a Bills fan. Those that watch the channel know that that's not what this is about. I'm not trying to say Josh Allen should have had the MVP honors and he got shafted by Lamar. That's not what I'm saying at all. No, that's not what this is. As you'll see some big discussions going on about that, and some people are saying Josh Allen's horrible start to the season and the struggles that he had throws him out of the MVP race right there and then. That's it. Just like the struggles that Mahomes had during the season, although we know he's in this big game. You know what I'm saying? I was today, the Super Bowl, but I was pulling for Lamar and the Ravens to knock off the Chiefs, my Bills' current nemesis or whatever. But you will see some Bills fans arguing that like Josh's numbers in the beginning of the season during his struggles weren't that different from Lamar's. I don't know. Everyone can comment with their thoughts about that, as well as your thoughts just overall about the MVP honors, the voting and such. But what I do want to get into talking about is Stephen A. This little situation here and just his overall credibility as well. Is Stephen A. falling off?
Hey, just wanted to say one thing. That one vote against Lamar Jackson, that jeopardizes why sports writers, people talk about how sports writers should be voting. That was a stupid homer vote by that individual, probably scared to go back in the locker room if he had voted against 100%. Josh Allen. That compromises everything. You have to be objective when you have a vote. And that writer was, I don't know who the hell it was, but that's an embarrassment.
You're right about that. But we're going to sit up.
All right, so Peavy, you see Stephen A. very boisterous take, as he's known to do. And I've always liked Stephen A., but there's just been some odd stuff going on lately. I don't know if you guys have seen everything about his basketball career in college, Whitlock and some other individuals, I believe Marcellus Wiley, some other cats out the media have really pointed out some things where I gotta say, I mean, I'm not gonna break it all down in this video, but as always, everyone please comment what your take is. Really looking like Stephen A is not being honest. I think that's kind of something that Marcellus Wiley said when he was breaking down the situation. He was like, I'm not gonna call Stephen A. Smith a liar, right? I ain't saying he's lying, but I don't believe he's being truthful or telling the truth. And then I want to talk about this situation right here. He gives this boisterous take, and you know, he's saying clearly, definitively, to me, the way he put it out there, right, is that one vote we're talking about that Lamar didn't get, as you know, now he has 2 MVP honors, accomplishments, 1 unanimous, 1 almost unanimous, and Stephen A saying, you know, this guy, this sports journalist who is a part of the problem, ruining sports journalism and all that, gave this 1 vote to Josh Allen because he's from Buffalo or he's affiliated with that team in some way or something like that, and he'd be afraid to go back in the locker room. Well, we're seeing other cats call out Stephen A. Smith and say that dude ain't from Buffalo, or like he's not affiliated with the Bills. And I gotta say, as a Bills fan, I've seen a lot of the sports media, you know, that work with the Bills give them a hard time, bust their balls really more than go along with them and go easy on them. I don't know, everyone, as always, comment. You know, I got to make that clear. This is a let's talk about it piece. This isn't me saying Stephen A's flat out lost his credibility and all that. I'm just trying to understand that we're seeing, you know, that it's not really identified the way the process works, who voted for who. So I don't know how he can really say that without knowing who it is. This Aaron Schatz guy, who is from Massachusetts, he's saying it ain't him. I don't know. It feels like it's not really clear who was the vote that went to Josh Allen. I mean, I'm sure the journalists can talk amongst each other and try to determine some things or whatever, but it seems like this is very early on in this situation, and Stephen A just isn't really quite sure what the deal is, and there really isn't any clear evidence to point out that this is actual factual, that this was just a guy that works with the Bills scared to face Josh Allen and the Bills if he didn't vote for him. And it's just looking like that might not even be the case. I could be wrong, but that's just my analyses of everything going on here, that there just isn't anything to support that at this point, and that he himself is saying this without really knowing this, but just wanting to try to deliver a boisterous take. And I don't know, I'm kind of looking at this as some suspect-ish by Stephen A. Smith. That's just how I'm feeling. So once again, everyone, jump in the comments. Let me know your thoughts across the board about this, about the MVPs, honors, and everything, the voting. For those that maybe have a little more knowledge on the process than I do. I mean, I get it. That's the name of the game. You got to somewhat have a gimmick to go along with your talents. You got to be excited and everything. I 100% understand that. But to just talk some ish without really knowing it very well might not be true. I don't know. I just look at that like, what the fuck is that? You know, that's not always the way to get ratings, if you ask me. And then all this stuff with his basketball career. What does everyone think? You add these two situations up, and is it looking like Stephen A is just talking out of his arse half the time, or what? You know, I don't know. Let's talk about it. Again, this ain't a ish on Stephen A piece. This is a let's talk about it piece, as I've been a fan of him for years. But sometimes people just try to find a cheat code or wing it, and that'll work eventually, or that'll work for a while until eventually it doesn't. And that's what I'm asking, is that what's been going on here? So thanks for watching. Look forward to talking to everyone in the comments. Again, what an accomplishment by Lamar Jackson. And again, I'm a Bills fan, and I support that Josh Allen did not earn MVP honors. Again, that's not what this piece is about. Much love. Subscribe to the channel. We talk about a lot of stuff over here. Sports, music, news, current events, all that. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace and God bless.